Good evening, everybody. This is Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, and today we're going to do a little playthrough comparison of Dig Dug for the Atari 2600 and 7800. We're going to start with our playthrough of the 2600. Very simplistic graphics here, but it reads well enough. Nowhere near arcade perfect. The blocks are little rocks you can knock down are literally just that, squares. But again, there's a beauty in the simplicity here of the 2600. Everything easily readable, and you could tell where everything is, what the monsters are. And the little line dirt effects work well enough, though there are some spacing inconsistencies. Pretty common thing for the Atari 2600. If you look at games like Pac-Man, some of the little wafers you were supposed to eat in the Atari version were rather tiny compared to others. Like that there, that is one very wide space compared to some of the other things you dig through in this game. Dig Dug's always sort of been one of those games, not my favorite, but certainly near the top of the list. Always fun for a playthrough when you're having arcade night. Had a pretty good run through this time. Always fun to fire up Dig Dug every now and then. Hopefully you're doing well today, recording this on a Monday evening. Got caught there. Yeah, this level here kinda kicked my butt a little bit. Don't know what I was thinking on this particular moment here. Tried to turn the corner there, didn't quite work out for me, so I decided to be a bit more cautious this time, get myself back on track. Do know 20,000 points is typically an extra life here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Looked like a mushroom that came in before taking out the little dragon. Move on to the next level here. Sort of like Pac-Man, those little bonus food items will increase in value every level when they appear. Not really my goal to get those. I'm just going to go ahead and try and get as much of these monsters as possible. When you get down to one, the last one always tries to escape up and to the left of the screen. So you got a little bit of an idea where the pattern's going to be. Try my best to catch these things with the falling rocks. Don't really know offhand what the point trade-off is. I can't say I've ever followed it all that close. I just know it's fun to drop big heavy rocks on these things. Gotta watch out with those little green like dragon lizard things because they will breathe fire, and in the 2600 especially, I don't know whether it's just a thing with the graphics, but it always feels like it's reaching pretty darn far out there. You can see that rock will change color when it's knocked loose and about to fall down. If it hits you, you will lose a life. Under the same token, if you're better at this than me, you could probably trap 2 or 3 of these guys in there, and I do believe that's serious bonus points. Here I sort of knew the direction he was going to go, so I just went up top and waited. As you can see, some of the spots are starting to get doubled up with baddies, and it's usually about the time that I start running into trouble. Fortunately, the 2600 really lets you use that little air hose on your shovel to basically fill these guys up to bursting relative speed. Kind of a boon for me. I'm used to playing, again, ports of the arcade. On the Switch I've got the Namco Museum collection, and I've got a disc for that for the PlayStation. I play that on the PS2 every now and then, so playing these ports here on emulation is a bit of a change up for me. Kind of a welcome one when it comes to older games like this. I've gotten to the point where I sort of enjoy seeing the different versions and the differences, the similarities. I've got to say I'm impressed for the Atari 2600. I'm able to get the music in when he moves and everything. This is a rather faithful port for what that system could do. Here I'm just digging around as much as possible. A, to give myself a little room to work around. B, to hopefully get a vegetable popping up. As you can see, I dropped down to my last life available here. And see if you keep digging, you get a little bonus points for the amount of area that you clear. Thought I would catch that guy on the rock, but he was managing just to get out of the way. There I decided to let the monster go and instead grab those bonus points for that. Looked like a green tomato maybe an apple. I'm going to assume a tomato. So I'm up over 20,000, and that's pretty much my goal anytime I play Dig Dug. Not going for a record or anything, just get to the extra life, then I feel I've at least played competently. Caught that guy with a rock from quite a distance. Always kind of fun to watch, and in my head I'm sitting there doing the old cartoon falling object whistle, that pardon the awful sound effects there, but it's what I got. Sound bank's a little dry, if you know what I mean. So we're creeping up on 30,000 here. Pretty quick pace game. Been doing a lot of dot hack videos lately. Certainly going to do more of those. Probably coming to the end of the Learning to Die Less series. I think that one's going to cap out at 10 episodes there. But retro gaming is a very big part of my life. Of course, a lot of the games that I try and feature here are games I played in my childhood. This one I've come to appreciate more and more over time. Can't say I owned either a 2600 or a 7800 in my life, again playing this on my computer. I can appreciate the history behind the systems. I had a couple friends who had 2600s, so I'm certainly a little familiar with these ports of the games, but they weren't really what I played. I would play them, again, at the local pizza place if the cabinet was there, or I would play them on the collections later on when I would pick them up for consoles of the 2000s and even to the current day. Namco Museum, that was the title I picked up when I had bought the Switch. It was sort of the game for me. It was that, it was Let's Go Pikachu for my son, and that wound up being for both of us. So I'm going to lose my life here, go back down to my final life. 37,600, now we're moving to 38,000. Again, satisfied with this playthrough. Nice little color change here. You got some purple ground here. Clear this board and we're inching close to 40,000. Get back to the orange gradient, if you will. Monster's just moving too fast for me there. And we're back with the 7800. Right away you can notice we're a bit closer to the arcade graphics. Still looks a little bit off, but far more faithful to the original, and you got that opening little intro scene with, I guess, Dig Dug digging down. Turn around real quick and catch that lizard guy. It does feel like the monsters are moving a little faster than I could dig here. Again, you expect that little bit of slowdown when digging through the dirt there. Just part of the game. I didn't realize it until about halfway through my playthrough here, but in the 7800 version, if you're going through and you're hitting with that air hose and you press the direction of the monster while you're pumping them full of air, it sort of gives you a quicker reset on the button press than if you just stand there and mash the button like a goof, which is what I was doing. There I had a nice little rock catch on that guy as he was crawling in. Not fast enough to turn the corner there. Reflex is not quite what I was hoping they would be. Really like how this footage looks though. I gotta admit, it didn't really look that close to the arcade to me when I was playing through, but looking back on it now, recording the audio, this looks really, really nice and crisp. Kind of a shame that I'm showing such a nice looking port of a game with such awful gameplay, but you will have to bear with me. I never said this channel would be called A Grumpy Old Guy Succeeding. having some fun here with Dig Dug. Hopefully you all are well. I don't know, what games are you playing lately? You playing any arcade classics like this? 100% in Ghosts of Tsushima. Can't say that name for the life of me. I think I'd be able to say it by now. I've said it about 150 times just talking with people. Feel free to let me know down in the comments there. At this point, just trying to get to a safe spot, take these monsters out, and believe they sped up a little bit there, so I'm gonna stun the little dragon lizard dude, take out the orange guy, then come back for the lizard afterwards. If you pump them somewhat full of air but don't quite explode them, they'll stay stunned until they deflate back to normal. There, another early rock catch. Really should have gone back to that strategy more. That was paying off pretty well for me. That one there wasn't paying off for me. Didn't think to let go, and that monster just came up and eviscerated me. Down to 1 extra life in the bank there. Hit 10,000. So this one's a bit of slog. Again, not playing near as well as we did on the previous playthrough on the 2600. But we're going to do our best and see if we can't just make it to that extra life at 20,000. Here we've got some monsters doubled up in the slots, and that is a whole lot of monster for a whole little bit of room. Getting a bit crazy here, so I can't quite clean up these areas I'm digging through. I'm leaving little tunnels behind, and there's my aha moment where I realized that if you just move towards the monster a little, you're able to inflate them far quicker. I'll employ that strategy a bit more as we get going here. Just in an effort to survive a bit longer. Here I'm just sort of making a beeline over by that rock to get prepared for when the monsters inevitably come for me. Managed to catch one there, and that buys me enough time to start just blasting them with the old air hose there. Managed to take out a good bit of the field just in that vertical lane. Let these dragons come up this way, stun one, stun the other, and somehow work my way through it. Not gonna lie, that was a complete accident, but we'll fake it till we make it, as the old saying goes. Catch another one on a rock fall there. Better with the rocks than I remembered. Probably because I was beating myself up for losing lives like that. Just not smart gameplay. So I've got a 0 there in the lives left. That's always a cause for concern. Gonna work our way over to the rock. It's gonna barely miss that orange guy, but we're gonna pop him. Work our way to the tomato, and there's our extra life. How do you like that? Over 20,000 and a little bit extra play coming our way. Guess I didn't have to run face first into that guy for celebration, but you know, professional amateur here. So we're going to be wrapping up here soon. Spoiler, I'm not going on the tear of a century here. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming playing Dig Dug. What'd you think? Let me know. Take care and have a nice day.